Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Monday, January 14th at midnight. And the GFS models in Europe are quite a fright. Take a look at them. Almost all of Europe east of Spain is going to be buried insane. And these are just models, but if we run them through 10 days, if they will allow it, there they go. You know, we're looking at 6 to 8 feet of snow here in Norway, heavy snow throughout all of UK, more slatherings through the Alps, northern Spain, all down through Italy into the Sahara. And the models are looking quite substantial across the US. Not only that, by January 22nd, iguanas will be falling from trees in Florida as predicted. And there's good reason for that. If you're new to the channel or just joining us, or one of the commenters that typically complain about why I'm weather forecasting, which I'm not. I'm not a weather forecaster. I'm better at forecasting weather than meteorologists because I use more data. Way more data. I'm insane. I'm a paleoclimatologist. I have data of paleoclimatology for hundreds of millions of years at my fingertips. I have the historical record. I have my deep knowledge of esoteric information, mythology, religion, dating back to the beginning of time. Since written records, I study the Vedic texts, the Kabbalah, the Torah, the Bible, the Dead Sea Scrolls. All of the information is pertinent if you need to make a prediction. The more information you have, the better the prediction. And what I want to share with you right now is the global surface temperature of Earth, the planet that you live on, for the last 65 million years. This brings us back to when the dinosaurs went extinct. The Cretaceous-Tertiary boundary. Now, what you're looking at is global surface temperature. This is the temperature of the Earth. And what I want you to see is that only in the last 2.5 million years has the Earth been this cold ever. In fact, we're over 12 degrees centigrade C, 12 degrees C colder than the normal temperature on Earth. And they're saying that if we rise 2 degrees C, we're all going to die. Do you see the lie in front of your eyes here? The last few 100,000 years have been the coldest the Earth has ever been, that we can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt. The last 65 million years on Earth have been 10 to 12 degrees warmer on average in degrees C than now. And we're not going to that level anywhere near there, ever. You know how I know? Because I'm a scientist. And you just looked at all of the scientific data that we have. Are we burning up? Is the global warming lie a ruse? I believe so. UAH satellite-based temperature of the global lower atmosphere proves it. There is no burning up. In fact, in November 2018, average global temps for the last 3 decades were normal, within standard deviation, 0.28 degrees C above baseline, which means the temperatures recorded in November 2018 were the same back in 1988, before global warming was even a word. And the December numbers are even lower than the November numbers. And my prediction is the green line, which we are sticking to. So as the global temperature currently is cooler or at the same temp as before global warming was invented, and the last 65 million years on Earth were warmer than now, what in the world is going on? The exact opposite is going on. Because current scientific consensus will tell you that the coldest temperatures recorded in modern history are during solar minimums, which are living for another year. You'll be in the minimum of cycle 24, going into cycle 25. And we're headed into a whole group of solar cycles that will bring us into the modern anti-minimum as the sun shuts down. Temperatures are not going to recover ever to any levels that you've ever experienced. They're going to continue to drop like they've been doing for 65 million years. Now, unfortunately, at the same time, the Earth's pole is flipping, which is going to make it get colder and hotter at the same time. Because that means there's less magnetosphere to prevent cosmic radiation, including sun's radiation, from entering the atmosphere and burning your flesh, burning your plants, and burning the surface. So in the summers, we're going to experience record highs. And in the winters, well, those are going to be long and deep and dirty, like the historic record has shown in the past. These are not fairy tales, these are facts. Join us on the journey. Mid-Missouri snow breaks records in many places. Mid-Missouri is still recovering from the record-setting snow. 17 inches fell at Columbia Regional Airport Friday through Sunday, the third highest total ever recorded. Sanborn Field in the Mizzou campus reported more than 20 inches, which is the highest total in that area ever, according to the powers that be. The Highway Patrol worked on hundreds of crashes. Luckily, no reported deaths. 9 minutes in, and we're frozen like ice, like Al Gore's ice. Whoa! Snowstorm sets record at Reagan National Airport. Heads up, DC. Frederick, we received 8 inches of snow. This is in Maryland. A winter storm brought nearly a foot of snow to parts of the region, making the biggest snowstorm to impact the area since the blizzard of 2016. Wow, that was right when the global warming was at the peak. Some of the snow totals Sunday evening: Frederick 8, Rockville 12, Gettysburg 4, Leesburg 11, Martinsburg 12. Heads up, Winchester, picking up 7. Dulles International 9.6 and Reagan 9, Columbia 9.3. 197 crashes according to Maryland State Police between 7 p.m. Saturday and 3 p.m. Sunday, which was not your fun day. But it was your done day. Winter storm continues with record-breaking snow. Check this out. Most snow for January 11th in 110 years. Heads up. Callaway County Lake area. Many areas woke up to 10 to 12 inches from this storm. And we're talking about Missouri breaking all-time records. I'm sure you didn't hear about that. You weren't allowed to. Pacific Coastal Highway and Grapevine closed as record rain and snow douse California. Here we see crews working to clear mud from Pacific Coast Highway near Leo Carrillo Beach in Malibu. Hoo-hoo. A storm over Southern California dumped rain and snow in the area Monday, heightening the threat of mud and debris flows in the area scarred by recent wildfires, closing a stretch of the PCH in Malibu and the Grapevine section on the 5 freeway. But the Grapevine section was closed because of snow. Ow! This is Southern California, you prick. Get in your hole. Snow on the 5 freeway shut down all lanes of the road in both directions for 5 miles near the Grapevine. The California DOT, who can get, as far as we're concerned, Weather Service officials warned the heavy winds and snow would make the freeway treacherous at times, with blowing snow and icy conditions, and Al Gore spinning in circles, hopefully, through Tuesday morning in his SUV, probably an H3. Hee. 12-mile stretch of Highway 1 was also closed. Big Sur between Mud Creek Road and Paul Slide, according to Caltrans. We're big fans. Eastern and central U.S. to face more winter storms. Polar plunge after a calmer half to the first week. Calmer half, suck it. Dry and cold Monday. Syracuse, Pittsburgh, D.C., New York. The cold is dropping in. It is minus whatever up in Maine. It's insane. High temperatures will gradually trend upward during this time, but won't be very high. And if you live in Florida, prepare for the Iguana Armageddon coming this weekend. I predict an Iguana Armageddon starting January 21st and lasting for 48 hours. For the Midwest, fresh shot of Arctic air will pull the brakes on the rebound in temps. Big winter storm to enter the area Friday through Sunday, which will not be your fun day, as iguanas fall from trees in northern Florida. Here's your cold outbreak. It just says late January, but we're going to get to the models and we'll give you more specifics in the days to come. If you live in Florida, January 22nd is going to be the beginning of the rest of your lives. We're working on it. It's all froze up. It's froze-did. We have hundreds of tabs open, and it is really affecting our ability to do anything. I've clicked on everything. 14 minutes, 15 seconds in, and the cold outbreak is freezing us up. Do it. It's coming back. I have a feeling. Oh, there it is. Boom! 1 to 4 feet of snow for the western U.S. If you're looking for the deepest snow this week, head to the western U.S. California will likely take the home prize for the most snow this week. Ow! 2 to 4 feet, you prick. Get back in the hole and put the lotion in the basket. Do it now. Did you know that the iconic Army leather heli... Oh, never mind. Nearly every other state in the West will see 6 to 12 inches this week. It's not a tweak, it's the facts. And we can open the image and you can look at them in big size so that you realize with your own eyes the facts. This is how much snow. And look at the Sierras. Holy macaroni. Smoke a mother boli. And make me a stromboli. God, I'm getting hungry. That's just this week, which is the middle of winter, and will only increase as we move forward. Yes, and then we have another southern storm developing for next weekend, which will be followed by the Iguana Armageddon in Florida just a day later. Hey there, Tater. And the snow totals are looking impressive for Virginia. Once again, you might see the most snow ever in Virginia this winter, ever. I mean, we're talking eclipsing records. 60, 70 inches total by the time we get to March. As we march towards spring, we're deep in the heart of winter. And I can't even open anything, and it's all frozen up again. 16 minutes in, freezing up. We're just trying to touch everything and noodle with it. Oh, and that's our first boom, which is completely frozen. Maybe one of the reasons why we're froze up. Because of the boom. Heads up. January 21st, Armageddon Iguana Apocalypse 2019. Heads up. Frozen iguanas falling from trees are not new. In fact, they happened 1 year ago, 51 weeks ago today. And we're repeating history. The Iguana Apocalypse 2019 will continue the trend. Are you ready for the Iguana Apocalypse boom? They are delicious, by the way. Garlic, a little bit of olive oil, pan-fried. You can even do them like frog's legs with a little milk, flour. Delicious. These suckers are delicious. So as they fall from your trees, they may be your bee's knees. Iguana roast much? Iguana roast 2019 coming to Florida January 22nd. Let's check the models. Boom! Okay, in the next few days, the West is the best. As Joel Gratz predicted, here's through Saturday. So, Tuesday into your Wednesday, heavy snow moving through southern Utah, southern Nevada, and the Sierras. Northern New Mexico is not going to be left out. And then we're going to pick up a heavy patch of winter global warming goodness in southwest Colorado through our Thursday. Oh, look at that. I'm right here. Right there in that, the biggest nugget. And then it really explodes in the west. We're going to double those totals by the weekend. And then Friday, it's going to move east. Heads up Midwest. Northern Ohio, northern Indiana, central Illinois. You've been asking for it. It's coming. All through central PA, the entire Poconos slathered in an excellent uptick. Catskills, southern New York, all of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, southern Maine. It's insane. And if you're out there in New Brunswick, you're buried. Boom. And it's going to keep continuing. There's another system following this one up. It looks like heavy snow up near Steamboat on the models. And heavy snow in the Sierras, ending the drought. No doubt. 24 states experiencing a foot or more snow, and 45 states with snow over the next 10 days. That's a lot of states. That's almost boom-worthy. But our bandwidth is so thin, we can't even boom. My head is exploding. Heads up. We're back, baby. Half the tabs are closed now. We might have some bandwidth. Probably not. But we're going to click this out of everything so that we can get you some information. UK set to be hit with 6 inches of snow amid deep winter freeze. We showed you the models. Some areas it looks like 10 to 12 up north. Midlands will not escape. 70% coverage over the UK over the next 10 days. Britain could be hit by 6 inches of snow. Winter storm warning sweeping through the European pummels the UK. Parts of the continent are set for extreme flurries. Have you ever heard of that? Extreme flurries are when flurries get extreme. This type of white stuff was not predicted by Al Gore, that shot, and it could also impact the Midlands. These are between the highlands and the lowlands, and that is why we call them the Midlands, because they're right in between the other lands. The Met Office's forecast snowfall is due to hit the UK in just over a week's time. That would be 7 days for most of you. 7.3 for really weird people. Heavy snow and extremely low temperatures are expected according to the weather guys. And we show you this picture of snow totally covering the right half of this car because there was a snowmaker here blowing it upon it. And that is a totally manufactured boom. Similar to the one I'm showing you now. Alps death toll hits 26 as record snow triggers avalanches, and people, I have no idea what they're doing, but these guys are watching. 3 German skiers were killed when they were engulfed in a huge snowslide in Austria. 2 French ski patrollers died when their avalanche control charges exploded in their face. That's a disgrace. Who hired? What the? And that's a boom. Right in your face. That's crazy. GFS model showing heavy snow throughout all of Europe. All of eastern, western Russia, and Baltics, and Schmaltics, and every place in the whole place. Holy shit. You're buried. If you live there, heads up. That's everyone. The Great Boston Molasses Flood of 1919. Very rare event, killed 21 after 2 million gallons of molasses flooded Boston and made it a delicious cookie-like base. I mean, it was delicious. It had to be. I wasn't there. But many people are picking up on this molasses flood. 100 years ago this week, 21 people died in the north end of Boston when 2.3 million gallons of molasses ruptured into the streets. And they blamed it on global warming. McManus managed to make it out to the dispatcher, send all available rescue vehicles. Human activity has caused a deluge of molasses in the streets of Boston. Well, that global warming goodness in the form of whiteness will be coming to Boston this weekend. Be prepared, Jimmy. It's coming to get you. Seismic update, New Caledonia, Venezuela, and a cacophony of quakes throughout Asia and up into Greece. This is amazing moderate uptick in the entire region with New Madrid rocking. The Caribe. Kick 'em Jenny down here in that region of Venezuela heads up. A big boomer kicking off 5.3 in Nicaragua. And the Aleutians popping off moderate activity. We're looking for a large volcanic setup in the near future that you're living in your room right now, watching this. Watching it freeze up. Hey, if you need a good way to pass the time, come over to Volcanoverse, Global Volcano Monitoring. Like the page, subscribe, you click down here. No, we don't want to unsubscribe. And say, yo, Diamonds sent me. that's a boom. And that's how you control the room. Sakurajima erupting live on the stream. Cinnabon giving it a boom boom. And we're going to get to some interesting Cinnabon footage if it is loaded, which I don't think it is. And unfortunately, that's going to be a big thumbs down. Everything's freezing up. It could be our internet. It could be the CIA. Chan Thomas himself could resurrect himself and be affecting our internet right now. But absolutely nothing is working. 25 minutes, 33 seconds in. We're just going to give it a minute as we're frozen. Drone successfully shoots magma from the crater of Saku. Well, that is a ballsy drone flyer. Heads up to that data point. Links below. I have no idea what this is. But let's get rid of it. And let's load up that Cinnabon footage. I've clicked on it. I'm begging for it. Global warming melting Antarctic ice faster than ever before. I'm sure you've all seen this coming out, and we're about to blow your mind with a data set that is epic if we can do it. So stick with us, because that information on global warming melting Antarctic ice faster than ever before has already been explained. But the mainstream apparently didn't get the memo. Now, global warming is melting ice in Antarctica should let you raise your eyebrow straight from the rip. Faster than ever before. About 6 times per year now than 40 years ago. So that's what they're claiming. They're claiming that right now, Antarctic ice is melting 6 times faster than ever before. Study according to global warming.
How about this guy? American endurance athlete Colin O'Brady is now the first person to cross Antarctica by
No one
himself.
cares about
He
that
did
guy.
it. The explorer.
No one cares about that guy. Here it is again, CNN. Antarctica ice melt has accelerated by 280% in the last 4 decades. I can't believe it. That's amazing. I was crossing my fingers and hoping for global warming the whole time. But yet in June, scientists discovered volcanic heat under the Antarctic, which is not global warming. And the other articles don't talk about it at all. These ones over here that just came out today, all 50 of them, that claim that global warming is melting the Antarctic ice 6 times faster than ever, according to a study, didn't realize that in the last 2 years, over 170 volcanoes have been discovered under Antarctica, including a radioactive heat source of epic proportions. Now, a year and a half ago, 91 new volcanoes below Antarctica were discovered by scientists. This is in addition to the 47 already known, and many of these are going off right now. But now, because enough time has passed, it's global warming that's doing this. Global warming is melting Antarctica. But here's the melt. Do you see how it's recovering back here to normal multi-decadal averages forever? And additionally, the Antarctic has record levels. Back in 2007, the most Antarctic ice ever recorded in history was recorded. Data sucks, especially when it proves you wrong. The mass balance of the Antarctic ice sheet from 1992 to 2017 may be getting smaller. It may be, but it's volcanic in nature from underneath, not man-made. Do not let them lie to you. Additionally, Arctic sea ice is at record multi-decadal highs. The Bering Sea is completely covered as almost a ring around Greenland. Come check the facts and tell the alarmists to suck it. Arctic sea ice extent is the blue one. It's all the way up here. Above 2017, 2018, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2013, and 2012. That's where we are. We're above all those global warming years. In extent, which is the only thing they had left, because they never explained to you that the higher the extent, the thinner the ice. But now the ice is thicker and the extent is thicker because it's all about to hit them right in the face. Like a boom. You know how I know? Because I just showed it to you. I also know that the Earth is the coldest it has been for 65 million years. And that the global warming alarmists claim that if we go up 2 degrees, we're all going to die. Well, how come the Earth has been 12 degrees hotter than that for the entire last 65 million years? You fucking liars. Please explain that to the public. Why we're all going to die if it gets 2 degrees warmer. Which, according to this graph, means nothing. 5 degrees warmer on this graph means nothing. Even 8 degrees, that means average. If we go up 8 degrees, we'll be the average of the last 35 million years. Did they go to college? Or did they just get paid to say something that they get handed? Now, what you're watching is a Cinnabung time-lapse from yesterday, created by Richard Payne, who has no subscribers, and I just subscribed. He has 55 subscribers and just as many views. But he meticulously puts together these time-lapses for the benefit of people like you that are looking for the information. Now, this is not a spectacular Cinnabung eruption. It's a small outgassing. But what I want you to pick up on here is the fact that there is a cold front moving quickly across the region here, while this volcano is creating its own weather due to this minor outgassing. Now, what you're about to witness is spectacular. Because up in this region, you're going to see some of the electric universe model come alive. You can see the volcano now creating its own weather and outgassing negative ions in this region. Electricity moving over into this region, mingling with the other cold front. And here's where the haze gets interesting. And they connect right here, electrically connect. And this explodes out to the right. But watch this. Alien invasion. It's not ball lightning, it's regular lightning. But it is volcanic lightning disconnected from the caldera, disconnected from the cinder cone, created by the volcanic atmosphere that's being created by the volcano. Absolutely insano. The ghost of Cinnabung. $190,113. Come check out the RTP. Subscribe to the channel. Give him a thumbs up. Tell him Diamond sent you. And tell him whatever you want. RTP. Making time lapses of crazy stuff. Take a look at the moon. Boom. Heads up. You are living in the coldest time in recorded history for the last 65 million years. Unless the temperature rises 8 degrees C globally, you will still be in the coldest time ever for the last 65 million years. The next time a global warming alarmist says we're going to burn up, explain to them that the last 35 million years, the temperature was 8 degrees warmer than today. Or even explain to them that in the last 65 million years, today is the coldest ever. 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 By a long shot. Facts don't lie. Liars lie. And anyone that believes in global warming is a liar because they have been brainwashed or duped by the mainstream. Soil health as the next agricultural revolution, I agree. I do not farm plants, I farm soil. You should learn how to farm your own soil. I implore you to Google restorative agriculture, regenerative agriculture, restoration agriculture. Organic farming is the only way to sustain the planet without polluting. The corporation's only way is genetically modified organisms that require chemical input into the earth, which depletes the soil and the nutrition, making you sicker so they can make more money. It has nothing to do with feeding anyone. It has everything to do with bleeding you dry. China envisions moon base after their success on the far side of the moon that no one can watch. Hell. Well. Are you ready for the super blood moon eclipse? How about the asteroid suddenly showing off a comet-like tail? And they don't even know why. They still will not ever agree with Electric Universe. Until I'm dead and you're dead and the crustal displacement happens and all of humanity is washed off the surface of the earth, we will never be vindicated. Asteroids can now become comets, even though they're not made of ice or from the beginning of the solar system, and we have no idea what's going on. But now they're suddenly showing comet-like tails, and we don't know why. Nobody has any idea why. LA teachers are on strike, leaving 600,000 students in limbo, smoking crack and rolling marijuana cigarettes, gang banging, smuggling illegal aliens up their ass across the border because there's no wall there. There hasn't been a strike like this in 3 decades. And fuel cost about the same. You know the difference? You're a slave. And the amount you've been paid hasn't gone up in 30 years. When I was 15, I made $16.75 an hour assembling lights at a light factory in Holland, Pennsylvania. And when I was 36, I was getting paid $10 an hour. Zimbabwe fuel protests turn violent after prices double. Global unrest. Famine. Your future. I hope you're preparing. It's unraveling. Americans more likely to die of opioid overdose than a car crash. That's because the sheep cannot handle the misinformation. It's too much, too quick. It's too confusing. Break free. Do it now. If you're addicted, contact me. I'll get you help. Now, coming from Ag Daily, who is controlled by the pharmaceutical industry, which also controls your food, Monsanto and Bayer control Ag Daily. There's a new study claiming anti-GMO extremists, which is me. I'm the number one guy. I started this movement with dozens of other like-minded people at the right time back in 2011. Philadelphia was my city. Many other organizers had their own cities. 30 million people marched in 2012 against genetically modified organisms worldwide. Only 3 media outlets worldwide even wrote a story, and they were privately owned newspapers. The coverage in the following 3 years was even less. And now, a funded study, peer-reviewed, getting a 212 altmetric. Extreme opponents of GMOs know the least, but think they know the most. And you know why that is? They're basing this on fraudulent information. And this is the information coming from the agricultural government community, the EPA, the FDA, the FDA. The Food and Drug Administration is bought and paid for. They are not out to make you healthy, happy, or safe. And the reason that they can claim this in this paper is because GMO activists know that genetically modified food is not the same as non-genetically modified food. But the industry claims that it is. The industry also claims that the herbicide glyphosate in all processed food, where the highest concentrations are in things like baby formula, which are given out by food stamps, generic cereals, which are eaten by all poor people and poor communities, that these foods are safe for human consumption. And you continue to feed your children herbicide in all of that box cereal while you give them herbicide and recombinant bovine growth hormone in your milk if you're not buying organic daily. And you wonder why you have autistic children that have inflammatory diseases, or they're allergic to certain things, everything. And while this is allowed to be science, this is disgusting. This is misinformation that's mind-blowing. And Ag Daily is the #1 perpetrator of the fraud. I want you to get me any single human that will debate me on the topic of GMOs. Anyone that's in top agricultural position in the FDA, the EPA, the DEA, I don't care. Anywhere in academia, master's, PhD, even if you're an undergrad and you want to debate me that GMOs are safe, please, Oppenheimer Ranch at gmail.com. Do it. There are 200,000 people that watch this show every month. I'm sure you can find a way to contact me. If you believe that anti-GMO extremists know less than you do, show up and put up. And you know what I hear? Crickets. because this article was written by Ag Daily, by Bayer, by Monsanto. And those pricks would never, ever, infinity, stand a chance against me for 1 second. I will destroy you. This is disgusting. Fake news. Hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance in our future. Get informed. Get prepared. Don't be scared. The powers that be are going to try to manipulate you with 5G. 20,000 satellites going up soon. Hopefully a solar flare coming off from our sun and our waning magnetosphere will save you from the mind control element. Decalcify your third eye now. Learn what I'm talking about. Learn how to meditate. Learn about yoga. Focus. Take a walk in nature. If you're confused, it's on purpose. Look within. There are others that will help guide you. Be safe. We love you. Subscribe now. And that's a boom.